Live, the September 25th, 2015 Small Business Accounting Advisors. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
So how was your week?
It's still going.
It's still going.
It's been a good week for me.
It's been a good week for me. Frustrating for some other people, but this week I was able to accomplish a lot, believe it or not.
You want to hear an interesting story about an IRS audit that I'm on?
Oh, let's.
This one, it's a desk audit, and I met with this person back in June, and I gave her the documentation they want. I was under the impression I would get the preliminary report in about a week. Well, 3 months later, I still haven't heard from her. I'd sent her numerous emails and called her and left messages. So finally what I did, I was talking to another auditor who's auditing another client, and I said, do you know this person? And can you look up her on the system and tell me who her boss is? So I got her boss's name, I called her boss's number. Of course, her boss wasn't in.
I think we got double, triple things going here.
So
What's happening?
I called her boss and got a voicemail leaving the boss left me the admin's number. So I called the admin.
Oh my gosh!
And
so
I called the admin, and she said, "Well, she's not in." Oh, wait a second, she's coming back from lunch. So let me transfer you. So they transferred me over to her. She was quite surprised to hear from me.
Dennis, you're in there twice.
Larry, you might need to go out and come back in because I'm seeing Dennis once.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I see Dennis once also.
I'm losing Linda's voice.
What? Larry just popped out.
And he should be coming back. Come back. Okay. Say the last words that you said again. Say again, Dennis.
Well, I was going to say that she was quite surprised to hear from me, and probably wondering how in the world I tracked her down since she wasn't responding to my emails, and so I kind of wish I hadn't done it because they gave me a report that they don't like, so now I got to respond to the report. I guess I probably should have just kept my mouth shut and let it go.
She said, "I'll teach you for tracking me down."
Well, she said that other things were higher priority. I guess she's working like about 70 different audits. It's just insane.
Ooh, I'll bet. Well,
and then the other audit I'm on is like it's been going on for about a year and a half now, and this is the second auditor, and the other one basically left him with all this work to be done, so now we're kind of starting over. And
don't you love it? A year and a half into it, and you have to start all over again.
Kind of makes you wonder why people are afraid of the IRS. It's like they can't get out of their own way.
Well, because they have the power to seize your bank account. That's why people are afraid of them.
Those people are so overworked. These auditors are so overworked. It's just,
I agree.
Oh
I agree.
One issue.
Yes.
You know what this is? I have a client who we got a federal ID number to do some 1099s about 5 years ago. And we started getting notices that he wasn't paying his 941 taxes. And we're like, anyway, somebody just inadvertently probably put a wrong number on their 941. So it got reported on his EIN. And he's never had employees. These are letters, they can't get it fixed, and now the SSA is after him.
Oh.
So finally, I'm like, and the SSA says, well, if you can't, provide W-2s that match these wages, blah blah, get with the IRS and file a 941X. And I thought, so that's what I just did was the 941X. I have enough correspondence from the IRS that I was able to cobble together what the wages were and everything, and I'm just filing that it, what I think was reported in zeros and negative, and then explained it, and I'll have them stop by Monday to sign it. Maybe that will work. But they won't let me have a power of attorney because I didn't prepare the return. I said nobody prepared the return.
Yeah, can't your client give you that though? I mean, can't you have them?
We have signed every kind of power of attorney there is, and they said, and unless I'm the tax preparer, and I said,
I think you need
there
to
was
get power
no tax return.
I think to get power of attorney, you need to be either an enrolled agent, an attorney, or a CPA.
Right.
I believe.
And I'm not one of the three. And I could do it for a 941 if I prepared the return, but I didn't there wasn't a return that was prepared. So, and this client refuses to call the IRS, and we would have finished this a year ago. So,
Insane.
anyway, I'm going to try the 941X idea and see if that wakes somebody up. It keeps going to the wrong department or something. Every once in a while I'll talk to...
Because they already have 70 cases. Nobody wants to take it on. This is an easy one.
You know, I even Googled, because originally we got a notification that that they couldn't change the address to the address on the 941 without a proper form. And so that's how we originally found out about it. We're like, what change of address? And so I have the address for a company in Ohio, and I Googled it. I've got their name. I'm tempted to just call them.
Wow.
So they probably have a missing 941, and nobody knows how to apply their taxes. I don't know. This is December 2012.
Okay, well, I just tried, Dennis, to put that URL in Slack that you gave us. TickTie Calculate?
Yeah, I put in the URL down below. Did you see that?
I did.
cpaperless.com.
I was trying to put it in Slack because I want to create a Slack team.
Oh, okay.
Some people have joined. Yvette and Linda, you've already. Sarah, you're there. Dennis, you're there. Larry's there. But you know what? You need a person's email address to invite them. I have Google Contacts for everybody. But you don't necessarily see the email address from Google Contacts.
Oh.
So.
Well, I found out something interesting about Gmail. You may already know it, but you can send text messages from Gmail.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
What? Really?
Yeah, you just type in the number and then whatever their carrier is. Like it might be my number at
if you know.
AT&T or text.att.net, something like that.
Okay, I think I got it now. TickTie Calculate. Do you want to tell us about it?
Well, what I use it for is that on my tax returns, the way I work is that I will scan in documents, or I'll get PDF files as my source document for input. And so on one screen I'll have the document, the PDF, and on the other screen is my software tax
Does
program.
it have the ruler thing? I know you gave me a little
yeah, you can put a
ruler at one point.
This one's better because it doesn't disappear.
Did I lose you, Dennis?
You make an entry. No,
Dennis, you're freezing on us. Google is not being kind to us today at all.
Uh-oh, I can hear you.
Now we've lost your sound altogether.
You did? I can hear him.
Okay, then maybe it's me. I'm going to try taking my earphones out and see what happens. Oh no, here we go.
Goodbye, hang on.
No, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay, good. No, the Hangout stays, and I can join if something happens. Or that's the way it worked in the past. We'll say that.
Maybe not this week, but
maybe not this week. Every day you wake up, something new is happening.
It keeps you on your toes.
I think technology has very much outpaced people and the regular users. If you're not a developer, you are so far behind. And that is what my problem is with Microsoft right now. I used to know and love all of their products. I no longer know how to even sign on to some of them. So my next laptop is going to be a Chromebook, and I'm going to the dark side. I'm leaving Microsoft behind and going total Google.
Some people would think Microsoft's the dark side.
I'm leaving Google and going back to Microsoft for Outlook.
Okay. You're finding Google Mail, Gmail hard to deal with?
Well, I had used that on my phone, but then we're so heavy with Word, Office, and all our integrated stuff at work, I have to look at my emails twice because I don't have a Exchange server. So, but I got that roll.up or roll up in Google. That's the slickest program ever. My email has been cut down to almost nothing, but
Roll up, it's called?
roll.
Oh, it's the best thing.
What?
So what?
What is this?
Oh, it's called
Rollup.me, I think.
Rollup. Yeah.
What is
Dot me.
How are you using it, Sarah? And then
What it did was it went and read all my past emails, and it found out which ones I had a subscription to. And there were like 400. I didn't even know I had subscriptions to a lot of this junk mail that comes in. Because sometimes you'll do something and you've signed up, you don't even know it. But anyway, so what it does is it starts reading them, and it says, do you want to roll them up into one email a day, twice a day, or whatever? Do you want them to unsubscribe for you? Yeah. And then, or leave it alone. And so now twice a day, I get this one email, and even on my phone, I can scroll through them, newsletters and stuff like that. And some of them I just don't feel like it, or I'll go, yeah, I don't want to look at that. Or it's Home Depot. It's stuff that I want, you know, staples, but I don't need anything this week. You know, I want this email, but I can just scroll through it. I'm done.
Well, I just Googled it and enrolled, you know, and it came out in Swedish.
It's actually unroll.me.
Yeah.
unroll.net.
I put it in the chat.
Okay. I did roll up and it came out in Swedish.
I actually use it for both my business email and my personal email, and then I also have shared it with my assistant, and she's like, oh my gosh, why are you hiding this program from me? It is. I'm like, I'm not hiding it. I just forgot to tell her about it. But yeah, it just totally cleans up everything, and just like Sarah, the whole like 400 subscriptions that you never knew you had or were subscribed to can be literally within minutes unsubscribed, or you can add them to your roll-up, which you can ask for it to send you at whatever time of the day, once, twice, whatever it is, and just really limits like the notifications that I get, you know, through my phone and stuff every day is so much more calming.
How does it work? Is it like a Google app where you go and, or is it integrate with?
So you sign up for Unroll.
Okay, how much does it cost?
It's free.
Is there,
Free.
is there like a premium version, or?
Nope.
There must be a premium version or something. Where you have
The only thing that people are complaining about, people like my husband, is it really wants a lot of information. That sort of made me go, but then I liked it so much because he's like, you need, you know, maybe you should get. We read an article that, you know, that it really, like, why it needs a lot more than why they, you know, I don't know.
I don't remember setting anything up that needed all that.
Is that a
I have no secrets to Google at this point anyway. My life is an open book.
How does it work? Does it work like, do you get it into your email, or do you have to give them your email and your passwords, or?
No, it goes. You sign up for their service, and it goes through their program. It's all web-based, and it will go through, like, I mean, obviously it's getting access to your email.
Filter. Yeah, it's like a filter, isn't it?
Yeah.
It goes there before it hits your.
Does it just work with Yahoo, or is it just Gmail?
Yahoo might be on the list, but it's not. It doesn't do Outlook.
Oh, it only does.
So I go to Outlook and I have a roll-up of all this, and then I have all of it too. So,
Don't you have rules set up for your Outlook? I mean, Outlook works so much.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I've got.
I used send all my newsletters to one folder, and and look
So just
at
so you know, I use it for in my Gmail account, and that's the only email I have. So,
Oh,
and then in the email, it does you have your standard inbox, and then it adds another box, and it's called Enroll Me, and so you can go in there at any time and check that information out. So I know it works in Gmail. I do not know any other because I only use Gmail.
So does it, if you say it rolls up suspicious emails into that box, now if you check it, does it automatically
Every subscription that you have, it will do like a once over, a complete, look at all your subscriptions when you first sign up for it, and it will come back and tell you, I found 400 subscriptions, and then you go through each one and you tell it to either unsubscribe or roll it up, and if you roll it up, basically that means that it goes with your daily subscription, if you're getting it once a day or whenever you want it, and it will go in that. And if you set it up for once a day, it will email you. It will say you found 5 more subscriptions, or here's your emails, what do you want to do with them? And you can still choose and filter them to either come in, if it's from somebody, or if it's from, some like Staples, and you still want to read it, but you don't want to read it like right that minute, then you just tell it to unroll it, and you can look at it later, but you're not throwing it away, you're not filing it anywhere that you don't know, you won't find it later.
Okay.
You also can go to Unroll, the website, and it'll have all your emails.
Right.
So you can actually look at it there.
That sounds awesome. I wonder what's going to happen with Intuit, though, and all the spams that you get. That'll be
spam. It's not for spam, because spam is...
Well, no. I know a lot of spams are coming in with the Intuit address, is what I'm saying.
Oh, no. See, you're
There's fake
subscribed to
things.
those, so Enroll Me doesn't know anything.
So you're still going to get them, and you'll still have to delete them. But it'll take it out of your daily feed, at least. Got it.
What's wrong with my camera?
Yeah, you're fading in and out. You're going dark and light
I'm
and
playing
dark.
with the settings, but it sure isn't high def, and it sure isn't... I closed all of them.
I was on mute. I got the payroll one yesterday. The vague payroll. You do payroll.
Oh, right. Yeah.
No, don't do payroll. Find somebody else to spam.
Yeah, I got in weird phone calls too. Like yesterday, I got from the medical something. I said, yeah. He said, you Mark? I said, Mrs. Mark. He said, oh, Mrs. Mark. He says, did you have a procedure? A bladder procedure, and I'm like, I've had every procedure under the sun, but not that one. I'm like, who are you? And he says, oh, but don't, it's like they picked an ailment that somebody my age probably has had treated. He's going, and I was just screwing with them.
Imagine somebody that did just have that treatment, though.
Oh, I know, but I'm like, you're from the something billing. Medical billing, and I'm like,
Days. You really don't.
You've heard about those threatening phone calls from fake IRS agents, right?
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
I want to talk about that because the same client with the problem, the Social Security Administration, a guy called, and he said, this is Chris something with the Social Security Administration, and I want to follow up on the correspondence we sent you. We've got a discrepancy of $14,000, something about sending W-2s and all that. Well, it was on his answer machine. He absolutely freaked out. So he recorded it and drove over here, and I wasn't in. And so he's playing it for Angela, and Angela's like, the government doesn't call like that. Just erase it. And he's like, wait a minute, I don't know. So then he waited. And then last night he calls because I was back, and he's like, listen to this. And I'm on the phone, and I can barely, garbling it. But I'm like, he didn't leave a phone number. He didn't leave a way to get in touch with him. It was odd. If it were a scam, he'd, So,
you can't because they'll get busted that way.
Well, no, but and you're taught that they don't call. Except I have had IRS agents, legitimate ones, call. So, but anyway, so he calls first thing this morning. He goes, guess what I got in the mail? I said, what? A letter from the SSA, and it's talking about the 14th. So he faxed it to me, and then it made sense. They're looking for W-2s for the
Right.
bonus, yeah. But apparently, and the message even sounded like some agent just wanted it off his desk.
Right.
You know, so actually that turned out to be legit. But and then he did the caller ID and called it back, and it was the SSA, and then he hung up.
On these fake IRS calls, it would be so tempting to put them on hold and then transfer them to the IRS and let them wait on hold to talk to the IRS.
Brilliant. That is
Get a
brilliant.
phone queue,
I'm going to do that. I had the little Microsoft dude call this morning. He calls about twice a week.
I actually had Google call me. I guess I wasn't doing the Google ad right, and they called to help me out. And I'm like, wow, I'm really surprised. I have never heard of Google calling anybody before. How do I know you're who you say you are? Well, I'm who I say I am. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, especially if they want to help you.
Right, exactly.
That's a tip-off right there.
Yeah. The Microsoft guy this morning was, of course I don't know where they're from. You can barely understand them, but he's like, yes, we're getting messages and we're trying to protect you from hackers.
Yeah.
I said, oh, hackers like you? Oh man, I'm not a hacker. I said, boy, you're delusional. And he's working with me. I am not a hacker.
With their thick Indian accent or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what country they're up there?
Russian or Ukrainian or.
Anyway. Well, what other topics did we have on the agenda?
Well, we wanted to talk a little bit about Slack.
I joined, but now I don't remember where to go. I got it. What did I do? I got an email and then I joined.
I'm
Now,
thinking maybe I should watch Steve
we
Dotto's.
join with our Gmail address?
Well, I set up a small business accounting advisor group, and that's for us, all of us that go to the group, which is separate than the admin that I have you and Yvette on. So we're trying it out.
Slack is actually part of the Hangout thing?
No, it's a completely different program. It's a communication type program where you can work with teams. And what I just...
Where do I go?
I think you have to go... Is it slack.com?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's too easy.
Hold on here. Slack.com.
And then you'll have to sign in.
Oh, and it said I already had an account.
Yes. You probably set it up.
Should I sign up for free?
I did.
I thought you were already signed up, Linda. You're already in there.
Yeah, you joined.
I never signed up. I don't know about you, but mine says a messaging app for teams who put robots on
Mars.
JPL is one of the thousands of teams. They're right near me. So
NASA. Okay. So I'm signing in.
I'll sign in.
Oh, it says team domain.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Then maybe the team domain is my Gina's Net.
Yeah.
I'm just learning how to work this too.
Yeah, but it said that I could have multiple teams.
But you can.
I need to know what my team is. Do I write out small business advisors all long?
No, I just did GINAS.
Net. And Gina's Net is the team domain. I would have changed it or called it something else. It's in the chat.
ASNET.
Oh, cool.
And I just put the two URLs that we talked about. Was it the roll up? And what was the other one already? My mind is going.
Oh, I'm supposed to use the email I used for my Gmail email.
Oh, Linda, you have so many profiles.
I know. I'm so sorry. I got to merge them.
You better get a spreadsheet, keep track of them all.
Mine's coming down to that. Mine is coming down to that.
Okay, Gina, so we have I'm not Gina's Internet add something or other, and if I click that down button, I apparently can log in and out of the various teams I belong to, and then within your team there are channels, and there's SBAA.
Okay, click on that.
Yeah, okay, what's in here?
And you should be able to see the 2 URLs that I just put in.
Oh, and what are those?
And that's the roll-up and that tick-tie thing.
Tick-tie calculate.
Right. That
What?
Dennis talked about.
What's CPApaperless.com?
That's the company that makes Tick-tie calculate.
Oh. Oh.
It's if you use PDFs to any extent, it's really a good tool.
Oh.
Highly
Okay,
recommend it.
I love toys.
James, that was the problem I had. I did not have emails for everyone.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I guess they assume you'd have your team. Well, hello.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I can't get in with any of my Gmail accounts.
Fighting.
Let me
so
try.
it's not letting you in, Linda?
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying the third Gmail account I have.
Nope.
Misha wants to get in. I'm going to get out so I let her can get in here.
Oh, Larry, you don't have to go.
All right, I can listen. You're on live, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I have to know what email address you.
Larry, you don't have to get out. I'm gonna leave. It's okay. I have to go anyways.
Okay, let me see what address I have for you, Linda.
Because I have 3 Gmail ones. The first one I had was QBQLinda, period,
I don't think that was the one.
the Gmail. And then there's Linda QBQ Russell, and then there's DTM Linda Russell.
So I need to see.
But a long time ago, Yvette gave a tutorial. She gave a link to a guy that was doing lots of tutorials on how to merge all your Gmail stuff together and that.
Yeah,
And
that's
so you
tech.
need to put together stuff.
Yeah, he's actually got a thing on Slack too. I'm just looking at it. He's got a 10-minute free video on that.
My children are fighting.
Linda Russell QBQ at cs.com.
Wow, okay, great. I didn't even think that one. Sorry. I'll go again.
That's a maybe because I
That's
think I had a couple.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
cute.
Rhonda, I'll add you too.
Am I on there? I think I already signed up with you, didn't I?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
How much is this little Tic Tac?
Free.
Well, the first year it's $184, but then it's like $60 each year to renew. I think it's worth it. If you do a lot of, if you need a lot of, I do a lot of markups on PDFs for my taxes,
Mm-hmm. I
and
do a lot of audit prep, and I'm always crossing.
well, the thing I like about it is you can make tick marks on it with different colors, and the other thing is that you can, there's a tape, that you can, a calculator, you can paste the tape onto the PDF file for your, so for your documentation you can, paste that on. Plus it's got a ruler that you can superimpose on the screen. I've been using it for a couple of years now.
I love toys. I use that SafeSend.
What is it you use?
SafeSend. I think that's the one I use. What do I use? And I'm afraid to turn on too much stuff. My computer will go crashy crash. They put a bar at the bottom of my emails if I want to send something encrypted. If there's anything confidential on it, I go through it. Where is it? It's waking up. Come on, Outlook.
Okay, Sarah, doing you, not you, Sarah Laidlaw, Sarah Prevost. Sorry, I'm not talking a whole lot. I'm multitasking.
I have a question for the group I need help with. It's about warranty accounts.
Mm.
And on your chart of accounts, do you put it under cost of goods or do you put it under expense? And I've got my liability count already set up. I just don't know where to put the darn thing.
That's warranties?
Mm-hmm.
When you eat a cost because it was under warranty?
Yeah, essentially.
You bought.
Well, every contract has a warranty expense, a cost accounted in it.
I put it in cost of goods sold, but
Okay. There's so much conflicting
I'm
stuff.
a nonprofit accountant, so don't really.
Well, usually cost of goods sold, there's like a direct, there's a direct correlation between the revenue and the
Yes.
cost, and as opposed to an overhead that's sort of independent of the process. I mean, you got to pay rent whether you make one piece of sales.
Oh, you're breaking up, Dennis.
So I guess I would be inclined to cost of goods sold.
Cost of good. Okay, that's where I put it, but there's so much
I
conflicting.
say I would be inclined to put it in cost of goods because
Oh,
I think a cost of goods sold is like a variable cost, and it's not like you can have an ongoing, cost each month of a warranty expense, and it's kind of a function of the sale, the particular sale that you made.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. And that's where I have it.
Gross profit.
What was that?
I consider it a product of gross profit.
Yeah, I'd be inclined to go
Yeah.
for that.
It has to do with income. And then
It does.
anytime you have to support a warranty, it means you didn't make as much income.
Right.
Exactly,
Well,
yeah. And that's
well,
where
I
I
think-
ended up putting it, but everything I read on all these different sites were back and forth, and most of them were an expense. And I thought that was a little odd.
I think of like an operating expense as something that's kind of fixed and it's kind of
Exactly.
independent of your sales process, like
Okay.
like a rent or utilities or
Yeah, yeah.
that kind of thing. I put a link in the chat for Dottotech on Slack. It looks like that's what I copied to get a video. It's like about a 10-minute video on it. So I'm gonna watch that after the hangout.
Oh,
Put that right in the Slack for everyone to look at, and we can comment, and we all need something else to do because we're not doing enough during the day.
Exactly. This is why I'm always up in the middle
Right.
of the night watching people like him. I love his videos.
Steve
Oh,
Dotto,
yeah, Dottotech, yeah.
yeah, he's good.
Yeah, and he's funny too. He's great to he's fun to listen to.
He reminds me a lot of Seth. Being honest with you, in terms of energy,
Oh,
enthusiasm.
Speaking of which, does anybody use Camtasia?
no,
It's pretty expensive, isn't it?
yeah.
I know, but it's going to be what does he want, like $400 or something to get a lesson?
Yeah.
I'm like, should I just take a weekend and figure it out?
Well, if you start
But then
thinking,
again, if he
you think
can
of your-
get,
if you think of your time as a cost, I mean,
I know, but I'm still like,
you have the time.
Have you seen? I think Steve Dotto did something on Camtasia.
Probably.
I'm sure that Seth did.
yeah, he's got a thing you can pay for.
Yeah, it's expensive.
Okay.
What else?
I try to reserve like Friday nights and
Well, you gave me an interesting one, Dennis. The Excel from, is it Udemy? How do you
Yeah.
say
I've heard it Udemy or Udemy. It's UDEMY. I've heard it pronounced two ways.
that?
Some
Okay.
people say Are you talking about the Google Sheets?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to watch that tonight too. That's actually pretty good. It's like about a 3-hour. And the thing about that, I can't remember if I ever paid full price for one of their courses, but once you get on their mailing list, I mean, you get mailed every day just about. And you
They
feel
would
like
be
a
on the
real-
roll-up list.
Yeah, you feel like a real fish if they're so great for the courses now, because they're always offering them for $10 or $15. I see like these.
Hey, Misha. Misha's busy working away.
you know, you see these courses that normally sell for like $250, and they're giving it for $10. So, like I say, you feel like a real fish if you ever bought it full price. But
Well, that's where I was at with it. I am a brand new user, so they're giving me everything full boat. So I'll wait till I get a discount. I did get a 20% discount. I'll see if they can come down further from that.
yeah, it's you can watch it on your cell phone, you can watch it on your tablet, you can watch it on Chromebook, and you can.
Awesome.
It's nice where if you're at a dentist office or something, where you get some time to.
Or if you have a Chromebook and you don't have Microsoft.
Just as long as you carry the Wi-Fi with you, if you don't have a Wi-Fi connection.
Well, that's true too. But that, I don't know. That's like anywhere though, really, with a laptop.
I was toying with getting a real cheap HP laptop. I think it's called a Microsoft. It's an HP Stream. It's like about $250. It has like 2 meg of RAM. But what I was thinking of using it for is I used to do a lot of PowerPoint presentations, you know, public speaking. I haven't done so much in the last year, but the little netbook I was using kind of broke, and so I wanted to get something. I didn't want to get a real expensive computer to replace it, but just something cheap that I could use with a projector.
Mm-hmm.
And I know my Toastmaster group, we've actually bought a projector. If people have their own laptops that want to do PowerPoint, the group I'm in.
You have a projector that attaches to a laptop. Is that what you bought?
Yeah, well, in my Toastmaster group, like it's an advanced group, and people speak for an hour or so in PowerPoint, and so they'll bring their own laptops, but we've got our own projector. And sometimes, if you don't have a laptop, people just share theirs, and so you can do your PowerPoint. It's a kind of a nice deal because there's a lot of professional type speakers in the group, and
well, that's actually what I'm looking for, a projector to take out when I'm doing presentations or
I think that we're paying. You know, we've got some good funds. We got a pretty good balance in our check up the due cover equipment, and I think we're buying a new projector for around $400. It's one of these that the bulb. It's like it used to be the bulb was really expensive and they wear out. Now the newer ones, I think the bulbs last a lot longer. They're smaller.
More compact, a lot easier to take around with you.
Yeah,
that's what I've been hearing.
Yeah, the thing I would like to know is if the Chromebook could be if you could run you can use the Google Slides as a PowerPoint system. I was wondering if you could.
That's interesting. That's an interesting thought.
Yeah, I need to do some research because that would be nice. Because it's the newer connections are HDMI for the projectors.
It like for the a bigger USB looking thing.
Well, instead of like the VGA connections, you'd have it's a HDMI connection for the projector.
Right, and it looks kind of like a USB.
It's like about.
But it's bigger.
Yeah, it sort of looks like a USB, the HDMI. But that I think the Chromebook has an HDMI.
Oh, that's it. So
as I recall.
Well, I'll come back to you. I'll let you know how my Chromebook works out. That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
What do y'all think about that massive new iPad?
What?
The massive iPad. I'm not an Apple person, so.
I'm thinking that once I get the big Apple phone, that'll be fine for just having in my purse, and I won't feel like I want to carry my iPad.
I think Yvette's gonna get one of those.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a Samsung Galaxy Note 4, and it's pretty much effectively replaced my tablet. I mean, I don't use my tablet that much between the Chromebook and my phone. I don't really, use my tablet that much anymore. It's like a.
Tablets were a great idea. They just don't have enough power, and I end up sitting there watching that little circle go round way too often.
Yeah, here's the size of my tablet.
Okay. See, I want more screen room.
Yeah. So this one's 12 inches. It's going to be 12 woo, 12 inches corner to corner.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
need
why.
a bigger purse.
That's why I got the HP 14 because I want a bigger screen. Yeah, I wouldn't. With a Chromebook, you want to get a bigger screen, and you'll appreciate it after you've been using it for a while.
Okay. Well, I'm starting to segregate what I do on different devices.
Right.
Got it.
Nothing is ever going to take place of my desktop. And the reason is I have two big monitors. There's nothing any other kind of hand-carried device is going to replace that.
Well, I find even with the Chromebook keyboard, I'm much faster on a regular keyboard with PC in terms of typing.
But for my Chromebook, I'm really not going to be typing a whole lot other than to get online and do what I want to do. You know.
Like I say, with my Chromebook, I don't have it plugged in now, but here's my my little calculator,
Okay.
USB, and I can just plug it into my Chromebook.
Oh, the 10 key? Yeah.
Yeah, as opposed to trying to type up on
I can't. I have to have a 10 key. But even my laptop is extra wide and has its own 10 key.
I had a laptop that was extra wide. I'm gonna try and condense it a little bit so that I can carry it around, and it's lighter and not breaking my shoulder like my 17-inch did.
My iPad's mainly thrown up on the sofa or in bed, you know, searching and watching videos, you know.
My tablet
And
will go
TikTok.
with me if I know, that I need to look up something like on the internet or whatever. Other than that, I'm not really using it a whole lot. My laptop more so because I'm going out different places and doing different things. But to actually do work on whatever, I'm sitting home on my desktop. And so now I have Microsoft on my desktop. I have, the full Office and everything. If I need to, I can go onto my desktop from anywhere. I'm out in the field. I have my laptop. I can log onto my desktop and do anything that I need to.
logging in.
Well, what is it called? The remote access?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the remote desktop, whatever they call that, RD, whatever. RD. Yeah.
Remote
Yeah.
desktop.
So I can do that from my laptop anywhere. And then I can print because I have all of the cloud, the Google Print set up. So I can actually print back to my house if I want to save things and do that. Or I can put it in Dropbox and I will have it anywhere. So I'm starting to use different devices for different types of things. I am back to using my phone for a phone. I use it as a phone, to text, and the camera, and that's it now at this point.
I use my phone as kind of like a tablet for like reading stuff. What I'll do is that there's a program called WM Capture 4 or 5, and you can record things on the internet and then upload them to your G drive and then watch them on your phone.
Nice, nice.
Well, so sometimes I record webinars and then I'll upload it to the G drive, and then when I'm out and about and if I'm waiting, I can put it to productive use where I'll just, if I've got Wi-Fi connection, I'll just watch it on my phone, and it's like about a 6-inch screen, so it's not bad.
Okay. See, those kind of things I'm doing on my tablet now at this point. Again, I want the bigger screen. If I'm going to be watching something, I want to be able to see it, and that's why I take my tablet around.
Yeah, my Chromebook's pretty much replaced my tablet.
Okay.
Combination of, for watching like movies or webinars or watching CES videos. It's
right. Well, a lot of times I'll put all of that on my tablet, and then I'll be walking around the house doing whatever else I'm doing, so I'm not so tied to my desktop. And the other thing,
I think as accountants we'll always be using our desktops.
I don't think there's any way around it. I really
Yeah.
don't. I mean, when
In
you're
terms of
actually,
power and speed, yeah.
yeah, when you're actually doing the work, I just don't see. I mean, the apps are fine, but they are so very few of them really actually make my life easier. Most of them just give me frustration because
Yeah.
what I expect to see is not what I'm looking at. There is a big divide between what should happen and what does happen.
Yeah.
What I should be seeing on the screen and what I am seeing. I just had customer support with my bank yesterday and went through that.
Mm.
I do a lot more online with my banking, and I went into what they called a POP account, and I needed to edit a payment and kept getting this error. We are having technical difficulties. Come back later. Well, for 3 months I got this error. So finally I had to call support and say, help me out. And the guy says, well, don't you see this button? No, it's not showing on my screen. No wonder why I'm going nuts. So, yeah.
Someone showed me Windows 10. That looks pretty slick. We're about to get all new machines, so I'm thinking I'm just going to go Office 16. Just do it. Office 16, and because we nurse these machines and everything for so long. I think I've had my server like 7 or 8 years.
So
That's a long time.
Used Windows 8 at all?
Huh?
Have you used? Okay.
No, but it has a real
Loading Windows 8 first and playing with it because it'll be completely different going to Windows 10.
He showed it. Are you on 10?
Am I on 10? I'm on 8.1. I did not upgrade to 10 yet.
When he showed it to me, it has a real 7 feel.
Okay.
Both, and I'm like, well, I can transition from 7 to 10 a lot better than 8 to 10.
7 to 8. Okay.
So,
allow yourself a learning curve.
And then I'm thinking, instead of getting workstations for the employees, get them laptops, but they can still use their keyboard and their big monitors. But in case of hurricane evacuation, they just take their machine
and go.
We don't leave data on these machines anyway because they're not encrypted, and my server's encrypted. But it's so easy to put. We do an audit every once in a while. And sure enough, I'm the worst. But they could put their own clients. Now we use QBox, so we could put QBox or whatever on the
laptop.
On the laptop
and still be able to work. That would be nice. That would be awesome.
Because I'd set up an office in Atlanta, but they're taking care of their own families and stuff, and so I'm thinking of doing that. Then the old days,
does that computer become theirs or is it yours? Are you going to make them buy? It's yours.
Mine. It would stay here normally. Now I've got one of my employees' daughters on the waiting list to get a new kidney, and when that when she's in the hospital, I'm like, so I've been lending her a laptop. So things like that, I think it just to be able to be very flexible, and because they're all troopers, man. They'll get the work out if they can figure out a way to do it.
Right.
That enable them. And now in the old days, I didn't like laptops because the batteries would go out or they'd overheat and they didn't last long. But I think the new ones, aren't. You just use them as a computer.
Right. Exactly. Especially if you have a keyboard and monitor.
Yeah. I think they won't even know. Yeah, they probably wouldn't even know except it's behind their desk.
Right.
Or a dock. We could use a docking station, but we could use a docking station at 3 monitors.
Be like Deb and have 4.
I'm running out of desk.
Really? I know that feeling. Well, before we get, Sarah, you had asked us about Bill.com. You are having some problems.
Anybody using it?
I am. No one else?
I'm trying not to panic. I'm I'm very particular on my vendor list. Last name first, and then I'll do W9 equals Inc. or needs W9, or I mean, the vendor names themselves. Who's echoing? When I'm reading general ledgers, they help me review, and especially in the 1099 arena. And I had a company join so that they could get ACH, and it changed their company name.
Go in and look at the company setup, because I think that there are two fields, one that's the company name and one that's the official company name.
Like print on, or I'll play with it, but all of a sudden I was like, because there I'm really pushing people to go to ACH, and it's going to muck up.
Well, Bill.com is very secure about the ACH and the credit card, and you have to be verified. You have to verify your bank, and all of that is a pain in the butt, but it's nice to have the added security.
Right.
Yeah. So I
didn't know if you knew if that was, what I saw was normal, or I've got a setting wrong somewhere.
You'll have to go in and look at it. You can have it in QuickBooks the way that you want, and then sync it to Bill.com, and it should only change the official name, leaving the other name that you want to, print by or search by or whatever alone.
Okay, because one of the selling points is the vendor takes care of their own information. If they have an address change or anything like that, you don't even have to do it because they'll do it.
Right.
When that see what it was like, something in 2 letters like A and B Inc. Or whatever, Supply Inc. And the vendor mistyped their name. A space ampersand, no space, anyway, and now mine is misspelled. So,
but that's only in Bill.com, though. It should be correct in QuickBooks.
It's synced.
It's synced it to QuickBooks that way?
Well, it was pretty late when it happened, so maybe not. Maybe I panicked for no reason.
And QuickBooks has 2 spaces also, or 2 fields to put a
company name versus the vendor name.
Right.
Well, maybe I don't have a problem. Now, when you're processing Bill.com, do you try to reach out to the vendors first to see if they'll join for ACH, or do you cut them checks and hope they'll join for the next time?
It depends. It depends. There were many that were already part of Bill.com, most of the utilities and all of that. Automatically, they are already there. But if it was someone that I knew, I would ask. Otherwise, I would just cut them the check and make sure that I had the account and invoice number when I sent out the payment.
My clients deal with members, and they're like individuals getting reimbursements. So it's not like an invoice. It's not like a. Some of my other clients, when I get them hooked up, yeah, it'll be like that. But my guinea
well, the checks that they get, it is kind of hard to know who it's from.
Oh, really?
Because the print's so tiny. It says, we send this in behalf of, and they give the company name. And then they will have a reference number, which is either the account number or the invoice number. You do have the option of putting an account number that stays with it all the time, and then an invoice for each bill that you pay. So when they get the check, but that's the same with any electronic check that you get from any bank or anything.
When they first came out, they always looked like junk mail. No, I'm
right.
Sure a bunch got thrown away.
Right. So some of them, it's very hard unless you know the vendor or you know the customer. what invoice they're talking about unless they put that number on there.
Mm-hmm.
Some companies are still doing that,
Doing what?
sending stuff that looks like checks,
And they're not checks?
Yes.
and they're not checks. They're advertisements.
Oh, yeah. Back before the crash of 2008, they was always, people trying to lend you money.
Oh yeah, like this is non-negotiable.
Right. Gosh, I haven't gotten one of them in a long time.
Well, I know that's because of that crash.
After what, 20 plus years? I've been in the U.S. for like almost 29 years. When I first came, we used to get Finger Hut magazine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Last year, I started getting Finger Hut magazines. I'm like, what the hell is going on?
It's like they're back.
Alrighty, well, we only have a couple minutes left. Let's talk about Linda and not installing QuickBooks 2016. You saw some issues with the 2016, Linda.
When I listened to Charlie on the SleaterCom webinar on Tuesday, I forget what it was doing, but I guess I just used that as an excuse. There were a few things I thought were really neat. The new report that goes through the end of last month, but that's funny because
Finally.
what I do with that is I create that one, and every month I just change what the end of the month is. So I had already done that.
Yeah, all of us had to do it, yeah.
Yeah.
I think most people have and have done exactly what you've done. It's just take it one step away. You can do it automatically now.
Yeah. So there was another thing that was really kind of neat, and I can't remember now. They had a poll at the end, and they said
Bill tracker.
what you like.
Bill tracker.
I didn't like the bill tracker. I could.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, okay.
Well, Bill Tracker is wonderful if you use purchase orders.
Oh, absolutely. I can see that it would be because people never close their purchase orders. I agree. That's great. But what I do with most of my clients, phone enter bills, they write checks.
Okay.
Batch delete was cool.
So I just kind of hold.
That wasn't a deal for you. The batch delete.
Yeah, but there were a couple of other things I thought were really neat, but not important enough to spend the money.
Well,
Batch delete. What did you like about it?
the batch delete.
Batch delete.
But that's just enterprise, right?
But it's only enterprise, which
But
is.
I own Transaction Pro Deleter, and it does a better job.
Yeah. Custom fields, filtering custom fields. That was cool.
Yeah, that's nice.
And drop ship if you drop ship.
Is that enterprise or everything?
By the way, that Transaction Pro Deleter
All versions.
was a godsend to me because I deleted over 40,000 transactions in about 20 minutes in that Quicken to QuickBooks conversion.
Oh my goodness.
I
So
said,
that was well worth that money, whatever it was you spent. Wow.
so, and I will probably be buying Transaction Pro Reporter also. Because,
That's a nice.
they're such an easy to use program.
Nice tool to have in your tool belt.
Yeah, really.
Well, I never upgraded to 2015 because 2015 did not use IPN, the Intuit Payment Network.
Right.
Well, I am no longer using IPN, period. I'm using Bill.com for everything. Bill.com has automatic payments, too, that you can set up monthly. It automatically goes out, and if they authorize you, the payment's done, everything is done automatically. So I have taken everybody off of IPN and made them go to Bill.com. Now, Bill.com, you have that verify process, so you have to let your customers know that you're going to they're going to get 2 transactions in their bank account, and they've got to look at that, and they've got to verify their bank account. But again, once the setup is done, it works beautifully and automatically.
Got it.
So now that I'm not using IPM, I jumped right over 2015 and went right to 2016.
Well, I had a client that called last week, and they've been renting out a couple parking spaces, and so they don't use invoicing for anything, but we do enter internally invoices for the parking. So this guy wanted to say, can't you just draft my account? So is it new that it's so easy to set up the IPN? I mean, it was really a no-brainer.
Well, I had to talk to somebody in support and have them walk me through it the first time.
Really? It looks all brand new. There's like no contract. You don't pay a thing unless you use it. And it enables you to scan your checks and do a deposit if people are still paying you by check. And the ACH is just so simple. We made little forms and had them fill it out, and they're loving it. They're loving it. So.
Oh yeah, I like.
And it says it comes with credit cards too, and there's no fees at all unless And you can turn it off so that you only use ACH and not credit cards. But I don't know. Like they do a lot of weddings, and there's usually enough lead time that if a check bounces, we can get them. But I don't want to pay credit card fees, but in the rare instance that I do, I don't want them running it through the gift shop because that really mucks up my accounting.
Right. Well, I've got them set up for ACH payments. It happens once a month. I don't do all of them the same day or even the same week. I have some set for the first week, some set for the second. So
it does it automatically.
It does it automatically on whatever day I set it for. And it sends out an email. Your invoice from Gina has been paid. Thank you.
But the problem is I have multiple AR accounts.
Oh,
okay. AR and I have regular AR, and then and so I can't link just one AR account or just one AP account to Bill.com. So that was another bummer. But I'm liking it. I know I don't like keying in bills on Bill.com. I'm just
I know it's
clunky and slow. I wish we could just key it in QuickBooks. With the dual monitors, pull it up on Bill.com, key it in QuickBooks, make it do all that syncing stuff, and then let the client pay the bills. It would be so much easier and faster.
Right.
Because with AR, you use the QuickBooks AR, and it syncs up to Bill.com. Why can't we do the same thing with bills?
I agree.
So, anyway, that's my break for the day. But I'm gonna try them for a month or so, and then I think I'm doing all new contracts for a couple clients, going to the flat fees. And I think I might bump them up just a little bit, and then tell everybody, it's not going to cost them anything, but they're going to Bill.com.
Right.
And then
it's factor in that. It is.
If it were checks, and then if they're ACH, I make money. If they get checks, I'll probably break even. I think I'm going to cost it that way.
Well, you can set them for just ACH. For the contract clients, you can set up the automatic payments for ACH only. You tell it what you want.
No, I meant for bills, paying bills.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for paying bills. If I say, okay, all nonprofits are going to have to be on Bill.com. I don't want any more liability. I don't want any liability. Paying bills online when we're not supposed to. And
right.
I don't have that. But the clients are usually, we're sending the checks and we're still doing the stopping by to sign foolishness, and I just want to stop all of that.
Right.
So if they think that it's not going to really cost them anything, and a lot of the clients, even that I've had on flat fees for years, I haven't raised my fees in so long. Now's the time to just roll it all together. But I don't have For the ones that I just got brand new contracts for, I want to do like a Bill.com contract all by itself. It's like something else I have to whip up.
Well, actually, go into Bill.com. They give you a template for that.
Seriously?
Yes. Yes.
This is a good hangout.
And we are about out of time. You know what? I do have one question for Linda. How do you sign up for your sessions on SleaderCon? Where did you go to do that?
I sent that to you in an email. It's actually, hold on, it's like Google SleaderCon and then go to the schedule.
I need to do that.
Okay. Because there are some things, I've looked at the schedule, I know some of the things that I want to do, so I want to sign up right away.
The Monday one, when I first registered for the conference, I just said TBD, to be determined. And so the lady, Samantha, whatchamacallit, Schulte, sent me an email saying, we need you to let us know which ones you're going to go to.
Oh, got it.
And she sent me the link, and I went there. But I just sent you an email, Gina, so you can
Okay, I'll look at it.
And just, I only scheduled my Monday classes because that's all she needed. And that's why I copied you, because I thought you might be interested in what I chose to do.
I'm going to do the same back at you. I'm very interested in Sage. That's the one thing I want to...
Do they fill up? I mean, should we be worried that we need to do this now?
Well, the Sage ones I do want to do now. Also Seth's. I do want to go to Seth's.
Now, I heard some very interesting thing about Sage 50. You no longer can take QuickBooks to Sage 50 or Sage 50 to QuickBooks.
Really?
That's what somebody just told me. I think it was Yvette.
Oh.
Oh boy, they're going to need TBX.
What?
Bring your
Sarah's
cards.
program. Trial balance.
Bring your
Oh,
business
yeah,
cards and
right.
cards.
Very good. Got it.
If it won't import it, then that's, the way to get the history out of QuickBooks is TBX.
That's it.
Yep, exactly.
So, yeah, everybody's got their little niche. It's kind of nice to know what everybody's niche is.
Oh, I can't remember what that woman's name is. I will go to anything she's talking about. I don't care what she's talking about. She's so funny.
You got to give us more hints.
No.
Nancy Smythe.
Huh?
Well, you're talking about somebody who's funny.
Miss
I'm
me.
thinking Nancy
You
Smythe.
thinking like Leslie Schreiner?
Yes.
There
Leslie.
you go.
Do not miss Leslie. I don't care if she's talking about taking out the garbage.
I just saw Leslie in May. Yeah, and I met her, and she's coming out here to work with a lot of us contractors.
Oh, she is
I'm so excited.
phenomenal.
She is. I can't tell you how many Evernotes I have
Yeah,
from
she's got
her.
a Webio with Doug Sleater, one of the original Webios. Maybe probably go back and watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I kind of missed that. Yeah, I'm super excited. I think I get a one-on-one with her.
Really?
Wow, that's
Yes,
great.
I know, right?
How are you doing that?
Well, okay, so we have this thing called Energy Trust of Oregon, and for all the solar contractors that really were intrigued by her class that I took at this conference,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to the people and said, if you offer this, sign me up. So I think I'm one of the first sign-ups.
Nice. Congratulations. You'll have to let us know.
I will, yeah. It's probably going to be sometime in 2016 because all of us solar contractors have the year-end deadline and we're stacked. So I'm super excited, though.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, if I could talk like that. Oh.
Do you want to? You want me to tell her you need to do a Sarah Squared show?
There you go.
She's so nice too, and she loves to hand out these kisses, which are deadly, but they're good.
She's the type of person that you could listen to all day long. Just
Oh yeah.
Nice.
learn. So,
She reminds me of Seth in a lot of ways.
High energy.
yeah. Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
funny.
All righty. Well, we are over time. Is there anything else anyone wanted to talk about before we sign off today?
No, we're
I
good.
signed my lease on Monday.
I'm sorry.
I signed my lease for my office space on Monday.
Oh,
Congratulations.
congratulations.
No more choo-choo.
Yes, choo choo, the train. You hear it all the way.
Oh my God, I want to move into the office.
Maybe you could record it and play 5 minutes or something.
Trust me, you'll still hear it.
For old time's sake, you know.
No, you'll still hear it when it goes by. It just won't be very loud. Bye,
All
Larry.
right,
Have a nice
everybody. We're
weekend.
going to sign off for today. Have a great weekend and see y'all next week.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.